All right. So today is going to be all about getting us ready for our quiz tomorrow. We did a lab yesterday where we talked about throwing different metals in water and did some Q calculations and stuff like that, but you haven't had a good amount of time to just sit down and calculate some Q on your own. The reason why you want to do that is because we do have a quiz coming at you Friday. Tomorrow's a lab. Those of you at home will not have to be here tomorrow, but those of you that are in class, you have your lab. You're going to get some hands on some chemicals, see what we can do endo and exothermic wise. But then Friday, we have our quiz. I wrote it yesterday. It's 10 questions. 6 of them are concept questions and 4 of them are math. So we're going to concentrate on the math today. So you have to know what specific heat capacity is. You have to know the heat equation, the variables, all that kind of good stuff. And then you will have 4 calculations, okay? So I want to give a little bit of time today to make sure we can all do the calculations portion because I think we've been going over everything else. So what I want to start off with, who can tell me Q is equal to what for the heat? Oh, you got it. MC delta T. You want to make sure you know that. It's going to be on the quiz. And then talk about the symbols and what each of those mean. Perfect. Okay. Q is quantity of thermal energy or heat. Does anybody remember the unit for that? Thermal energy or heat? Joules. Yes, yes. Very good. Joules. Perfect. M is mass, and the unit is grams. You will have to be able to put the proper unit on your math problems, so as you do them today, make sure you're not forgetting these bad boys. C is specific heat capacity. Remember, it's how much energy it takes to heat 1 gram, 1 degree Celsius. How much energy it takes to change the temperature of 1 gram, 1 degree Celsius. And the unit for that is joules per gram degree Celsius. Joules per gram degree Celsius. And then delta T is change in temperature. If you want to remind yourself, whenever you're trying to find a delta T, you subtract. That's how, if it says it starts at 50 degrees and ends at 75 degrees, you know your delta T is 25. Okay, and that is always in degrees Celsius. Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do today is give you a little bit of time to go through. I was going to give you guys a practice quiz at the end of the period, if you would like, to see if there was real, actual, actually the quiz. We'll see how we're doing. But remember, you basically just want to go through and you need to read everything. Number 1 says the mass of a chunk of iron was measured to be 78.2 grams. That's M. If 982 joules of heat energy, that's Q, is added to the sample of iron, how much will the temperature increase? So that's delta T. That's my question mark. And the specific heat capacity is 0.449 joules, and that's C. So now I have Q is equal to M. We'll have my C looking for my delta T. You just got to solve for that. You want to give me an answer and a unit. Okay, so you do need a calculator out. And we want to make sure that we are doing these. I'm going to go through and make sure that everybody has their lecture questions. The other thing, why don't we just do this right now? Go ahead and open up your computers and kind of put it to the side. Open up your computers, put it to the side. When you go in, let's just have you, instead of going into the participation points on the right-hand side, let's have you go into week 10, click week 10, and today is Wednesday. I would like for you to go ahead, if you're here online, if you're here physically, Go ahead, put in your 10 participation points. And the other thing I want to point out is that the answer key is there as well. So I want you to do number 1, and then I want you to check the answer. I want you to do number 2, and I want you to check the answer. And I want you to do number 3, check the answer, all that kind of good stuff, okay? So you want to do your participation points, and I want you to work on this worksheet because I don't know that I've given a lot of just sit and practice time for the math, okay? Feeling good. All right, and like I said, I'm going to check the grades, make sure that everybody has their lecture questions in. If you have any questions on the lecture questions, so by the end of this period, everybody should have lecture questions done, participation points done, everything points-wise should be done for the week, and we should be feeling good on the math, okay? And the key is there. So I'm going to put the music on quietly, walk around, see if you got any questions coming at me here. Oh, I guess I should also point out a common mistake. If you can't find a C value, see this little square up here? If you can't find a specific heat capacities, like if you're dealing with brass, that's the C value. Lead, here's the C value. Remember, water is 4.18. That is the C value. So sometimes if you can't find the C value, that's because it's up here in the chart instead, okay? Like particularly number 3, make sure you look up the C value, okay? Or you know that one in your head. Perfect. So the key is there. Talk to me. I do. Over by Mr. Oh, you know what? Nobody's really sharpened their pencils this year, I think. I have an automatic one right here, too. That's fun. All right, so I'm going to come around and check in with every single person, making sure that everybody is feeling good for your quiz on Friday. Perfect. Wonderful. We'll take some attendance.